Hello students, I am Dr. Sujit Agarwal. I am Associate Professor, Department of Applied Sciences and Humanities, KNIT Sultanpur, and we are studying electromagnetic field theory, which is module 2 of the physics syllabus KAS 101T and KAS 201T of BTech course of AKTU Lucknow. In this lecture series, we are learning about electromagnetic waves, and this is the 8th lecture of this lecture series. Let us see what we have learned in previous lectures. We learned integral and differential forms of the laws of electricity and magnetism and some mathematical concepts. Then continuity equation for current and modification of Ampere's law for time varying electric and magnetic fields, and then displacement current and its physical significance, Maxwell's electromagnetic equations in integral and differential forms and their physical significance, electromagnetic waves in free space, propagation of plane electromagnetic waves in free space, phase relationship between electric and magnetic field vectors of plane electromagnetic waves, and transverse nature of electromagnetic waves, electromagnetic waves in non-conducting media, and electromagnetic waves in conducting media. These we have learned in previous lectures. Now, in this lecture, we will study Poynting vector and Poynting theorem, momentum and radiation pressure, and also some numerical problems. So, let us discuss energy in electromagnetic waves. Electromagnetic waves are transverse waves in which vibrations of electric field and magnetic field are electric field E and magnetic field H are mutually perpendicular and perpendicular to the direction of propagation of the wave. For example, if a wave is propagating along x axis, then electric field vector vibrates along y axis and magnetic field vector is along z axis. So, let us define Poynting vector. The cross product of electric and magnetic fields E and H, that is E cross H, will have direction along the direction of propagation of the wave. If electric field is along y axis and magnetic field is along z axis, then E cross H, what will be direction of E cross H? Direction of E cross H will be along x axis. So, this vector E cross H is called as Poynting vector. Hence, Poynting vector S is E cross H. It can be shown that the magnitude of Poynting vector is equal to the electromagnetic energy radiated per unit area per second normally perpendicularly in free space. We can show this. So, let us discuss Poynting's theorem. For this, let us collect Maxwell's equations. Maxwell's equations of electromagnetism are divergence E equal to rho by epsilon 0, curl E equal to minus mu delta H by delta T, and curl H equal to j plus epsilon delta E by delta T, and divergence H equal to 0. These 4 equations are Maxwell's equations of electromagnetism. Here H is magnetic field, E is electric field, H is magnetic field in ampere per meter. not in Tesla. Rho is volume density of charge, epsilon 0 is permittivity of the medium, mu is permittivity of the medium, and J is current density. Okay. So, from equation curl H, this equation, from this equation curl H equal to, left hand side is curl H del cross H equal to J plus epsilon delta E by delta t. We can obtain J equal to curl H minus epsilon delta E by delta t, and then take dot product with electric field E dot J, dot product with electric field on both sides E dot J. In the right hand side we will have E dot del cross H minus epsilon E dot delta E by delta t. Now, using vector identity, this vector identity, divergence of E cross H is equal to H dot curl E minus E dot curl H. We will use this identity, and using this identity what we do? We substitute E dot del cross H from this vector identity, evaluate this E dot del cross H. So, what is E dot del cross H? It is H dot del cross E, and bring this term to right hand side. So, H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H. So, we will substitute for E dot del cross H in this equation, E dot del cross H. So, what we get? Then this equation becomes, this equation becomes E dot J equal to H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H minus epsilon E dot delta E by delta t. Now, we can substitute del cross E from Maxwell's equation, del cross E equal to minus mu delta H by delta t. So, we have this equation from last slide, E dot J equal to H dot del cross E minus del dot E cross H minus epsilon E dot delta E by delta t, and from Maxwell's equation del cross E equal to minus mu delta H by delta t, we will substitute in the above equation, this equation. So, this equation becomes E dot J equal to minus mu H dot delta H by delta t minus del dot E cross H minus epsilon E dot delta E by delta t. These two terms are similar here. So, we will simplify these two terms. Let us see how. H dot delta H by delta t. This H dot delta H by delta t, this we can write as 1 by 2 half delta by delta t of H dot H. Let us go from this side to this side. If we have this half delta by delta t of H square, then what, if you differentiate H square with respect to t, then what you get? H dot delta H by delta t. H dot H is H square. If you differentiate H square with respect to t, then you get H dot delta H by delta t, 2 H dot delta H by delta t. So, this H dot delta H by delta t can be written as half delta by delta t H dot H, and this is same as half delta by delta t H square. So, in this equation you have this h dot delta h by delta t, and this you can write as half delta by delta t of h square. Similarly, this term E dot delta E by delta t, this you can write as half delta by delta t of E square. Like h dot delta h by delta t, you have written it as half delta by delta t h square. Similarly, E dot delta E by delta t, you can write it as half delta by delta t of E square. So, if we substitute these values, then this equation reduces to this equation. This term has become minus half mu delta by delta t h square, and this term minus half epsilon delta by delta t E square, and this term minus delta del dot E cross h, and these two terms have been simplified by this bracket, and this E cross h is Poynting vector, E cross h is Poynting vector S. So, here the quantity mu h square by 2 equal to b square by 2 mu is the energy density. Energy density means energy per unit volume of magnetic field, while epsilon E square by 2, this term is energy density of magnetic field, and this term is energy density of electric field. Epsilon E square by 2 is the energy density of electric field. So, the whole bracket represents total electromagnetic energy density. So, electromagnetic energy density U is half mu h square plus half epsilon E square. Okay. Therefore, this equation becomes del dot S equal to del dot S plus delta U by delta t. This bracket is written as small u, written by small u which is in total electromagnetic energy in the electromagnetic wave. So, del dot S plus delta U by delta t equal to minus j dot E. This equation is known as continuity equation for energy. So, we have del dot S equal to minus delta U by delta t minus j dot E as Poynting's theorem, and if we consider a closed surface enclosing a volume, and integrate this whole equation in the volume enclosed by this closed surface, then what we get? Left hand side S is E cross H. So, left hand side is integrated in the volume. Volume integral is triple integral. Volume integral is done in 3 dimensions. The quantity is integrated in x, y and z, all dimensions. So, this divergence E cross H is integrated over the volume minus delta by delta t. U is this bracket half mu h square plus half epsilon E square, and this is also integrated over the volume enclosed by a closed surface S, and j dot E is also integrated over the volume enclosed by closed surface. Now, the volume integral on the left hand side can be changed into surface integral by using divergence theorem, and what does it become? Volume integral of a vector volume integral of a vector of divergence of a vector function, volume integral of divergence of a vector function over a volume is same as the surface integral of normal component of vector, okay, according to divergence theorem. So, here in the left hand side we have volume integral of divergence of E cross H. So, this is same as surface integral of E cross H dot ds. ds is surface element and vector ds has direction normal to the surface area. So, volume integral on left hand side can be changed into surface integral, and on the right hand side we have volume integration of electromagnetic energy and J dot E. Thus, surface integral of Poynting vector over a closed surface is equal to electromagnetic power loss by radiation. This term is electromagnetic power loss because this sign is negative, and this is energy per unit time, per unit volume, not per unit volume because you have integrated over the volume. This is this term is energy per unit time, that is power. So, electromagnetic power, and this term is ohmic loss. Ohmic loss, this is because of loss of energy because of flow of charge. So, the surface integral of Poynting vector over a closed surface is equal to electromagnetic power loss by radiation plus power loss due to work done by electric field, that is ohmic loss during the flow of electric charge. Hence, Poynting vector E cross H represents the electromagnetic energy lost per unit area per unit time. Okay. E cross H represents electromagnetic energy loss per unit area per unit time. In case of free space, J is 0. So, this term does not exist in case of free space. If we talk about free space, then this term goes away. Now, let us have few equations for Poynting vector average energy. So, S is E cross H and H is related to electric field E. Magnetic field H is related to electric field E by this equation. K is 2 pi by lambda and mu 0 omega. Omega is angular frequency, mu 0 permeability of free space. So, H and E are related by this equation. This you have learned when I taught you transverse nature of electromagnetic waves. So, H is n cross E by mu 0 C, n is unit vector. So, if we use this vector identity, vector A cross B cross C is equal to A dot C B minus A dot B C. So, expanding this quantity by using this vector identity, we can have 1 upon mu 0 C E dot E n cap minus E dot n cap E. Now, E dot n cap is also 0 because E and n are mutually perpendicular. Okay. So, we get only this term S equal to E square by mu 0 C n cap. N cap is unit vector along the direction of propagation, and this is equal to E 0 square E square by Z 0. Z 0 is characteristic impedance or intrinsic impedance. Okay. Z 0 intrinsic impedance is of free space is root mu 0 by epsilon 0, and root mu 0 by epsilon 0 is same as mu 0 C. C is velocity of light in free space. So, average value of Poynting vector per cycle, you have to remember this equation. Average value in a cycle, wave electric field is supposed to vary harmonically in time. Then if we take E 0 e to the power minus I omega t minus k dot r, variation of electric field, then for the evaluation of average value, we will take only real part, and this we will have to take average of cos square omega t minus k dot r, and then we will get average value of Poynting vector as E 0 square by 2 z 0. So, let us do one problem. Assuming that all the energy from a 1000 watt lamp is radiated uniformly, calculate the average values of intensities of electric and magnetic fields of radiation at a distance of 2 meter from the lamp. So, all the energy from a 1000 watt lamp is radiated uniformly, 1000 watt lamp. So, power is given as 1000 watt and distance is 2 meters. So, average in value of average energy you can evaluate as P upon 4 pi r square, and this is same as E square by mu 0 c. Here P is 1000 watt, R equal to 2 meter. Therefore, E electric field you can evaluate from this relation. You can substitute the values and E can be determined as 86.6 volt per meter, and H equal to E by mu 0 c. The characteristic impedance or intrinsic impedance E by H is equal to root mu 0 by epsilon 0, which is same as mu 0 c. So, from this relation you have H equal to E by mu 0 c, H equal to E by mu 0 c. So, E you have evaluated 86.6 volt per meter, and substituting the values you can obtain H equal to 0.23 ampere per meter. So, this is one more problem. If in a time invariant field, the magnetic field associated with a plane electromagnetic wave has only z component, which is expressed as H z equal to 6 x cos beta plus 12 y sin beta sin gamma, then obtain an expression for current density. Here the field considered is time invariant. So, in case of time invariant field, you can use Ampere's law in place of modified Ampere's law. So, let us discuss the solution. From Maxwell's equation, we have del cross H equal to j plus epsilon delta E by delta t. In case of time invariant field, delta E by delta t equal to 0. So, you have j equal to del cross H. Now, you have to determine current density, you have to determine expression for current density. So, j is del cross H, you can obtain del cross H by expanding this determinant. H is H has magnetic field H has only z component. magnetic field H has in this problem, magnetic field H has only z component. So, here H x and H y are 0. So, expanding the determinant you can obtain j as, you can expand this determinant and you can obtain j by this equation. Now, H z is function of x and y both. So, you can differentiate and determine j as this. Now, let us discuss momentum and radiation pressure. Average intensity of electromagnetic wave S equal to E 0 square by 2 mu 0 c. There is no mass associated with an electromagnetic wave, but an electromagnetic wave carries momentum. The momentum of an electromagnetic wave is the energy carried by the wave divided by the speed of light. If an electromagnetic wave is absorbed by an object or it reflects from an object, the wave will transfer momentum to the object. The longer the wave is incident on the object, the more momentum is transferred. The radiation pressure when wave reflects 100%, the radiation pressure is given by this okay. That is all for this lecture series. Thank you.